Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hello. How is everyone doing tonight? Y'all, this has been a slam packed, busy full week. Um, I see y'all were in the chat holding me down before we got started. Thank you. Look, I said we gonna step it up, a little bit more night after night. And we have Miss Maggie, the substitute teacher. If you guys do not know, especially women of all ages, but especially young ladies, okay? If you are not hip, if you do not know who Miss Maggie is, you need to get your life, okay? Miss Maggie, the substitute teacher, has been doing these phenomenal lives, okay, about all things feminine. And it's not even just to benefit women. I think men can get some value too, but definitely for how we are to conduct ourselves. And so I'm going to try to implement those tips that I have to been reminded about as I had said in Maggie's live, as far as how we are presenting ourselves in public, especially whether it's in front of a camera like I am tonight, or how many of us are who are live streamers or YouTubers, to when we walk out of the door. And then Maggie is getting us right with this is what I do to sustain results in terms of weight loss. These are the foods that I eat that are tasty and that have supported my goal for weight loss. And so she's teaching you on the meals for yourself and even your man and your kids, but also on the other side of the ways we can up our game as far as our femininity. So please, Chelsea, drop the link to Maggie's channel in the chat. Please check her out. She does amazing content. She goes live every single day. So Maggie, I appreciate you for holding me down and coming in. And she's almost 1 year as a YouTuber, providing all these amazing tools and information. So please check out her channel. And then I have my sister in the chat. Now, Chelsea just did a phenomenal live stream giving amazing information. So if you guys didn't know, this was national, I think it's Health Awareness Week over in the UK. So she decided to take that and carry it over here to the United States. And she offered herself as tribute, as my good girl and sis Shan Simone says, and gave her story about how she decided at a young age that she had to take control of her health, and she was not going to allow herself to get to an older age where it's going to be a lot more difficult. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but she took her health in control of her own hands, didn't wait on anybody. She saw the things that she needed to change. And so she is dropping jewels over there on her channel. So please, Chelsea, drop the link to your channel. Please support her. Chelsea is so close to 1,000 subscribers. She is right there. So guys, please check out Chelsea's content. And if you like what she's doing over there, please subscribe to her channel. And I appreciate you, Chelsea. As always, we have to get our workout in for the new year because we have not did that. And then who else do we have here today? Let's see. So we have Jay's Random, and I can't see your whole name, but thank you, Jay. I know who you are. Thank you for stopping by. Look, whenever you can make it. Okay. I know that we have so many things that we're doing. We're not necessarily tied to YouTube and to our phones and computers all day. It is late. This is the best time for me to stream currently. And so whenever you can stop by and leave a like if you can. People come and go as you please. We do it probably in any stream that we're in because we have a life and other things to do. But I thank you. I definitely thank you and appreciate you for stopping by. And guys, please do not forget to hit that like button. Who else do we have here? I'm going to make sure I did not miss anybody. Yes, please subscribe to Maggie's channel, Maggie the Substitute Teacher. And then we got my brother Maurice with the baby face. Hello, Maurice. Thank you for stopping by. It's always good to see you. Maurice is always supporting folks over in these YouTube streets as well. So I thank you for making it by my channel once again. I so appreciate you. And then who else do we have here that I may have missed? Yes, please subscribe to Chelsea's channel. It's right here, the link in the chat. Okay. And let me see. So please, yes, we're going to get that scheduled. I have a confession to make about that. But y'all, I ain't even going to make no excuses. One of the things that I'll just be transparent. So one of the things that I have just been working through as far as my scheduling is managing my new role as a content creator here on YouTube. A little backdrop, because I don't know if you're going to watch this live or if you're going to go back and watch this on the replay. And let me say this too. I've got a slew of new subscribers. So I appreciate you and thank you for choosing to subscribe to my content. Of course, you don't have to, but I appreciate you for being here. I do hope that you find value in what I am doing over here. And that if nothing, I can give you at least a little bit of some information or just something that you might consider and think about. We're not going to always agree with everything that anybody says, but I do hope that what you find over here is meaningful and you get some value out of it. So I just thank you for any time that you have to watch my content and leave a like or whatever that you do. If you're sending a Cash App, I just appreciate all the support that you guys are providing to me over here. But I'm going to go into my little confession in a minute. Another confession, I have not Nan glasses on, okay? And then we have C, Simple Secret. Hello, C. I'm so happy to see you. I haven't seen you over here in a while. Happy New Year to you and to everybody. I hope your new year is going off fantastic. Please don't be so hard on yourself. We are 11 days into this. And so we're going to take some time to develop those new routines, those new habits that we are wanting to make long lasting. And you're going to have to give yourself some grace. So I'm just happy to see you guys. You guys are doing well. Let's see. And thank you. So this is not a headband. This is actually a scarf. I've had this scarf. Let me tell y'all how long I've had this scarf. My sons are 10. So this scarf is about as old as my sons. They're 10 and a half. Okay. It's legit. It's a scarf I tied up in the back. Okay. Disregard my little short hairs that won't just quite make it up just yet. We getting there. We getting there with the hang time. But yes, this is like one of my favorite scarves I picked up at a thrift store. It was probably $2 back in the day when I got it over 10 years ago. So I thank you. I love me a good scarf that I can make into a head wrap or even just a cute headband to add a little pop of color and pull my hair up instead of just like plain black. Okay. Which I like black, but there's nothing wrong with a little bit of color. And so Jay says, I support everyone that creates content. I've been around to see a lot of people start from scratch and get really big in this YouTube space. That is so awesome that you are supportive that way. I too do that as well for a lot of creators that I find, whether they are like, to me, it don't matter how many subscribers you got. If I like your content, I'm going to be there to support. Even if you got 0, it's just me and that person hanging out. It's just going to be us hanging out, right? But I thank you and I appreciate you for spending time over here. And then who else do we have? And thank you again. And then Maggie says she's coming through to show support. Thank you. I love you, Maggie. Maggie is so supportive in this space as well. Like I said, please check her out for amazing cooking tips just to learn about who she is. But one of the things that I have grown to understand more about just being a creator is that beyond just the content that person makes, especially when you're live streaming, I think that we all, when we choose to click on a person's, live or their video, but specifically when they go live, I'm learning that we enjoy the connection and the interaction that we have with the person. And so to have Maggie, who's so attentive when she's on her. Maggie be doing it all. Okay. I strive to be like Maggie and like Chelsea. They just do amazing things when you go on their live. They're just holding it down. Maggie's in there cooking and she's, going to the chat and, reading everything that everybody does, acknowledging everybody, answering questions. That is a skill that only time allows you to develop. And so, and again, I'm going to touch base on a couple of things, but definitely shout out to Maggie, and I learned a lot from her. That is the one benefit that I will say, because I have been moderating on YouTube for over a year now. And so when you are the person that moderates, or even if you are behind the scenes and you get to help a person, you have a different respect for the amount of work. Even if what they're talking about could be, just whatever, you still have to respect the person's willingness to get up here day after day, to put themselves out here, regardless to the criticism, positive or negative, and just to be vulnerable. That was one of the biggest things for me, is that, do I want to put myself out here? But not just me, I have a family too. So I am concerned about my family and how I am not just presenting, but just protecting my family, because I'm a wife, I'm a mother. And so to just put yourself out here, to allow yourself to be vulnerable, I respect you all and appreciate you all who are willing to do that. Chelsea said, I'm sweet. I got my moments. Thank you, Chelsea. So before I tell y'all about, tell me how y'all week going. Let me hear about y'all, because I don't want to make this all about me. I know this is my channel. But tell me how your week been going, how you've been feeling. What is something that you are super proud of for yourself so far in the start of this new year? Tell me at least one thing that you are proud of and you feel good about with regards to just whatever you got going on. Please drop one thing in the chat. And if you didn't know, over here, I freestyle. Okay, I do have a little bit of a topic that I want to cover, but one thing that I'm learning is, and I feel so bad because with all the things that I have going on, I'm just like, I have to do better about like kind of previewing what I'm doing before I go, because I've not been doing this. This is probably I have to go back and count, but this is maybe my 9th live stream. So I have to do better about my preparation. Okay. So a lot of things I don't preview. So a lot of the times we are all guinea pigs going through this at the same time over here. Yes, please hit that like button. So what does Maggie say? So Maggie says, she is starting 2023 strong with collabs. Yes, Maggie. So I saw that you are just working, getting all that scheduled. I am proud of you for that. And that is amazing. And I am so looking forward to all the collabs that you guys have going on, and that you have going on specifically with some other amazing content creators. And so what does Jay say? So Jay says, well, it hasn't come for me yet, Lord willing, but March will make 15 years on the job. Congratulations. Just to be 14 years, approaching 15 years where you are today, that is definitely something to be proud of, because that to me shows that you have discipline, that you are committed to what you do. And on some level, you enjoy the work that you do. So that is amazing. And then what does Chelsea say? Chelsea says, hold on. Hi, Gail. That's what Chelsea says to you. Hello, beautiful Gail. I'm so glad to see you here. And hold on, I missed something that I wanted to go over, y'all. Chelsea says, yes, collabs are key. That's absolute, because you never know who you might reach in terms of, in this space. There's billions of channels, so we can't always assume that a person is going to know who we are. I will say the majority of the people who are probably even subscribed to me, it's because we have crossed paths in some way, because we are all kind of, subscribed to or watch similar types of content. So that collabing aspect definitely gives you exposure to people who need to know who you are. And it's, again, up to them whether or not they want to subscribe to your content and to your channel. What else we have? Frank Johnson. Yo, what's up, Frank? Hello. I think this is my first time seeing you here. Welcome, welcome. Peace. And we have Monarch Travel. 2023 has started so phenomenal. I am so happy to hear that, Monarch Travel. And thank you again for being here. Yeah, it's so crazy. Absolutely. Tell me about it. It's the time just gets away from us, right? It's just I can't, like, when you have children, I think that definitely puts things into perspective, because it's like you can probably remember from the time that you were carrying them in your womb as a woman, I should say that, or even if you are a father, and then your child is born, and then the next thing you know, they're like in middle school, high school. It just goes by so quick. So let's see who else we got. All right, so let's see. So before I talk about be transparent, so a couple things that's happened with me since I last live streamed, which was what, last week, Friday? All right. So one of the things that happened is, and maybe I should start with this first. So due to the kind, generous donations from you guys, I was able to get a new computer. Okay. Um, it is not necessarily the computer that I would prefer to have, but it's definitely a lot better than the computer that I had before. And please let me know in the chat if I'm having any sound issues, any audio issues. Please let me know. So I was able to get me a new computer. It is a Lenovo touchscreen. I really like it. It's really nice. I got it on sale. So far, so good for me. So I thank you guys for assisting me with this purchase. So let me say that was one goal that I had that is accomplished. And then another goal is that I started with my trainer. Okay. I am no stranger to trainers. I've had a trainer before. The last time I had a trainer was after my sons was born, which was quite some time ago. When I became 18, 19, I was just talking about this on Chelsea's channel. Basically, I decided that I wanted to be responsible for my own health journey as well. I was never like an athlete in school or anything like that, but I was always a very active child. I used to do like little cheerleading and stuff like that here and there. But once I got to college and I became a little more independent, I was real reckless and not being responsible, eating whatever at any time of day and night. It caught up with me, and it was more than a freshman 15. And I'm embarrassed to say that. But nonetheless, I put on excess weight, and then I had a awakening. Okay. And it was just like, I can't carry on like this as a young woman. I was able to recognize that as far as going into adulthood, wanting to be a wife and a mother, I had to do better. And just first and foremost for myself as an individual, I wanted to be at the best health I can be. Now, let me say this too. I'm not at the best health I can be now. But again, I go to the gym, I do whatever I can at home, and I am eating as healthy as I can. But more importantly than just healthy, quote unquote, because that can look different for different people, but being mindful of your food choices, but also not denying ourselves of certain things that we may have interest in eating or that we just may like. I like my sweets, but kind of figuring out different ways to meet those cravings that I have, but not going overboard. And thank you for letting me know. So Frank said Lenovo is a good brand. Yes, one of my smaller computers was a Lenovo. I got the computer before last. And then Jay said coming through clean as a whistle. So thank you for confirming that for me, guys. So yes, so I started with my trainer, but by start, when I say start, it is more so reviewing the workout plans, reviewing the meal plans. I don't go like meal plan by meal plan, or I don't eat everything that's listed because some things I just may not be feeling. But for me, I have an issue with eating enough food throughout the day. And so if you do not eat enough food, it's going to slow your metabolism down, and it will basically counter all the hard work that you're doing with your exercise. So for me, it's eating as soon as I wake up within a certain amount of time. That's what works for me. Making sure I'm not working out on an empty stomach, and then I'm eating within every 3 to 4 hours. That has been an issue for me, but so far so good this week. So tomorrow I will be in the gym. implementing the first day of the workouts. So I definitely am going to, and it's funny because one of the workout, like probably half of the workouts are workouts that I already do. But that's the benefit of having a trainer, right? You give them, they see a visual of you, you tell them your goals, and then they're going to tailor that for you so that way you can get the best results. Because if you're doing it by yourself, and even though, yes, I am very experienced with working out, I'm comfortable using the equipment, I run, I do all those things. If you go on my channel, you will see videos of me working out, okay? And I put those there because I need women to see that you can do and take care of yourself, and it don't require a lot of time. And I'm documenting my journey as well. So definitely, and having children and even age should not be an excuse. Okay, everyone should be active in doing something for their physical, and that's going to look different depending on the person. So yes, tomorrow will be my first day in the gym, and so I'm excited about putting these exercise plans into actual work. Okay. So that is basically how my week has been. And as a little introduction, because a lot of times I just hop on here and I start running my mouth, but a little bit about me, especially if you never, first time tuning in. So I'm Mona. I am a wife. I am a mother of actually 4 children. I have 3 biological children. I have a stepdaughter. My stepdaughter is 19. Um, she's out living her young adult life, doing her own thing. And so we have 3 children. I have 10-year-old twins and I have a 7-year-old daughter. Okay. I work. And so most of my adult life, I have worked with children and families. That's all I have done. Even as a teenager, that is what I have done. I have advocated for youth and teens, especially children who are in foster care. And one of the things that I want to talk about, it was mentioned last week. We wanted to talk about, or someone mentioned a topic that they wanted to discuss, and it was positivity in the community. And I think when we kind of break things down and we look at kind of like what is like the foundation and the basis of a community, it's really family. And I'm big on family because without family, we don't have a community. And so that's basically what I am. But I am definitely a wife and a mother over anything else. And so I'm just here taking up my little space in this little corner over here on physical corner and online corner on YouTube, just to kind of share my experiences regarding just what that looks like. But we also talk about different things over here. Okay. And so someone asked, or Chelsea asked, do you have an online coach or in person? So I do have an online coach. And the reason why I chose an online coach is because, for one, the time that I have available to go and work out, it actually works best for me to have someone online. I typically work out anywhere between 4:30 and 6 o'clock in the morning on average. And so I don't want to worry about, okay, is the trainer going to be on time, or does the trainer even have availability to meet with me at that time of the day? And also because I already have experience with working out in the gym, that worked best for me. If you are a person that is just new to working out and fitness and you don't quite understand like the form or things like that, I would probably recommend starting with the in-person coach. Unless you are a person that you do really good with visuals and all of that, and you're really independent and disciplined, then by all means do what's best for you. But as far as for me, I definitely chose an online coach because I wanted something that's laid out that I can follow. If I need to hit you up, because we use an app to communicate. So if I need to hit you up, ask questions, or if I need you to show me something, then you can just do that, and then I can go about my merry way. So Chelsea says, I am an early bird. I only work out that early because of you. So I'll say this too, Chelsea. If it probably wasn't for the fact that I do work, I would probably work out probably like around 10 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I do that sometimes, though, if I'm off from work or something comes up, take the kids to school and then I'll go work out, just so I don't have to put that additional pressure. But most of the time I do prefer to work out that early because it's already done and I can go about my day, and then I have a little more energy to go about my day. For me, if it gets past like 5:30, 6 o'clock, will I go work out? Yes, I will. We do go work out together as a family. And especially in the summertime, if it's like a really hot day, my kids will go on their bike, and then either me and or my husband, we're like running alongside of them or something like that. And so that's perfectly fine. But when it comes to being physically in the gym, I just prefer early mornings. Because I just want to get it over with. And then I'm like, okay, it's done, no worries. All right, let's see. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm getting a little cranky because one of the things that at least I experienced this, and I've heard this from others as well, is that if you are a person that has issues with eating regularly, you're going to have issues with, you're going to get full a lot quicker because you're eating at shorter intervals. So most of the meals that I've had today, I did not finish because it was just too much food. But it wasn't a lot of food, but for me adjusting to eating more frequently, it was just a lot of food and I couldn't handle it. And then of course factor in having water and stuff like that, or a little iced coffee. So yeah, so that's basically it for me. Just working on implementing this new trainer regimen and routine, the meal planning, and of course work and just the content creation stuff. I had initially started live streaming like 3 days a week. I had to scale back on that because it was impacting my rest. And then I also didn't feel like I had enough time when I had certain topics to do research. So I wanted to give myself a little bit of time. But the reality is that I don't do a lot of heavy topics, or at least a lot of things where it's like we're just focusing on one thing. And to be honest, usually if we're going to focus on one thing, we're going to talk about it and then we're going to move on to something else anyway. And that is just like the natural progression of conversations. So that's basically how we do things over here. It's chill, it's laid back. I like to know how you guys are doing, and we kind of go from there. So have you guys been seeing anything exciting in these internet streets, in the news, anything that came up that you guys want to talk about as far as a topic? Because I do have a topic that I want to talk about, and I kind of briefly mixed it in, talking about a couple different things. I was kind of rambling. But there's definitely a topic that I want to talk about. And like I stated earlier, someone watching last week had mentioned a topic that they would have liked to cover. And that topic to me is so broad. But in a sense, for me, the way I looked at it, it really starts at home. And that's how I view a lot of things, right? Everything starts at home. Okay. How our children are in the community, our viewpoint and perspective on life as individuals, everything starts at home and how we were raised and our life experiences. And so when we think about all the things that we see as far as our interactions, the negative things, unfortunately, I always think about, um, what is, or what was that person's home life like? And Jay says, what was that particular topic? So it was just about positivity in the community, right? How can we create or improve the communities that we live in, especially here in America, and especially if you are Black or African American? Okay. And so when I think about that, one of the clips that came up was from, or one of the clips that I pulled up, I should say, is from an interview that was done by Cam Newton. And so Cam, he's a football player, ex-football player. I think he's retired now. And so he has this show called Funky Fridays. I'm not sure if any of you guys are familiar with his show. It streams on Friday nights, or Fridays, or sometime they release it, I should say. And so he has different like celebrities and personalities on that show, and he kind of, he does his research on who the person is. If they come over there, he's going to tell you who their whole government name is. They're going to be caught off guard, like, how you know? And he's doing his job as a journalist. He's researching who these individuals are. So just this past Friday, he had Little Mo on the show. And so if you guys are familiar with Little Mo, she is a singer, and she is like a reality TV show personality as well. She was out back in the 2000s, came in under Missy Elliott, but we mostly know her in the music industry. And so as life progresses, she goes on, become a wife. She has several different children from multiple relationships. So I was watching the interview and she made a lot of good points. And so I wanted to show you guys this clip so we can have some conversation about it. So let me do that. Now, look, I told y'all you were going to be my guinea pigs. Okay. But I want to just share this with you. Okay. If we have any issues with the sound or anything, let me know. Uh-oh.
School night. And I'm that hands-on dad. I promote extracurricular activity. Like I want to come and support. I want you to see, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm dropping you off at school, picking you up.
Y'all, I told y'all. So basically, I told y'all we was going to be a little struggle streaming. Let me try one more thing, okay? Because I really want y'all to see this clip. Let me see if I can. Y'all, I do not know what is going on. It could be the format of my file, but let me just try one thing. Okay. So basically, because it's not going to work. So basically, Little Mo comes on, and what I'll do is I'll probably just drop the clip at another time, like I did the last stream that I did. So basically, Little Mo goes on to say she thinks she had everything figured out as far as from previous relationships that she's had. She's had multiple marriages. And so out of these multiple marriages, she has 5 children. And at this time in her life, she is divorced. And basically, she says, I do not think that single motherhood is a good idea. And so she speaks on it from the aspect of just being a mother and you having to deal with and manage all the different behaviors, all the different personalities of each of your children, in addition to the financial strain. And she also admits that it does not even matter whether or not you as a parent have money. The money is not enough in terms of providing and taking care of children. And let me know, guys, if you can hear me. Okay. So it was interesting to see or to hear her say that, because we don't often see women, especially of celebrity status, coming out saying, look, the amount of money that you have don't matter. The amount of status that you have doesn't matter. It's a lot of challenges that come with raising children, especially if there's no man in the household, because men basically bring order to a home. If you guys ever been out and you've been shopping somewhere, even if you are a married woman, if it's a kid and they're with their parent, kids are going to try different things that they're not going to get away with the father, right? And then when we look at it from a larger perspective, we know that statistically, children who are in single parent households, on average, now this is not all situations, but on average, there's a correlation between finances, there's a correlation between incarceration rates, there are correlation between teen parenthood with respect to being a single parent. So today you're going around and you're seeing various different did you guys just see that that Olympic, tennis player? Now granted, she has money, right? But she's pregnant by that rapper, Naomi. She's gonna have a baby by Corday, the rapper, and they're like in their early 20s. Okay. Or you got and actually he just got married. NBA YoungBoy married one of his baby mamas. One of his baby mamas, NBA YoungBoy's baby mama, is also Floyd Mayweather's daughter. Yaya, I think that's her name. And so we have these women that'll go around and they're gonna and let me say this. Some women, not all women, are glorifying single motherhood, but a vast majority of these women will make you believe that, or trying to encourage other women through their actions, that, oh, this is the life. I'm living stress free. I can do whatever I want because I'm getting money. I'm getting to the bag and my children are quote unquote taken care of. But okay, money is not enough. You might can keep a roof over their head, you can put clothes on their back, and you can put food on their stomachs. But when it comes down to those lifelong skills and lessons and the character building that a father that is engaged and present provides, and even more so when he's in the home, money can't buy that. So oftentimes you're going to be in situations as a woman where you're going to be angry, you are going to be upset. And for me, even speaking from a professional aspect of having spent over 15 years working in child welfare, oftentimes we see the end of that where we have women who are trying to take care of children. They do not have that balance in the household. So unfortunately, we have a lot of children who wind up coming into the system because the mothers do not have that balance in the home. So they're oftentimes frustrated. They don't have appropriate, and they're not using positive coping skills. And so these women in turn become the perpetrators or the alleged perpetrators of physical abuse and neglect of their children. And not to mention as well, the financial aspect and the lack that they have with that. And it is very, very sad when we look at those outcomes for children. And so to me, I wouldn't elect to be a single mother, especially with respect to all the things that a child requires, and money is not enough. Okay. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Okay, here we go. I'm back in business. So Chelsea says, yep, loud and clear. Okay, thank you. And if you didn't know, so when we think about what it takes to raise a child, we already talked the other day or last week about the median income for a household or for an individual is $44,000, right? Statistics show that on average, okay, it takes throughout a child's lifespan from birth until college, it takes over $1 million roughly to take care of a child, okay? And we're not talking about necessarily glamorous things per se. We're talking about medical care, daycare. And I'm speaking in the sense of if your child is, if you're not a stay-at-home parent as well, because if you are a stay-at-home mother, then some of those costs will be reduced. But let's just go for, it takes about $1 million. I remember a few years back when I had my kids, it was about 300, 400K. And now we're talking about $1 million. So then when we think about what it takes to take care of a child, we know that roughly 75% of households, especially in the Black, and I'm talking about in the Black community, are not headed by married couples. So what happens is that women are working more because they have to overcompensate for the lack of income in the home, because there's no husband or no solid partner that's living in the home. And let me say this too. Not all situations when we talk about single parents are directly related to a woman choosing bad, but I would say a large majority and a percentage is right. Um, and also it has to do with other factors as well. What are our spending habits, right? um Even if you and your husband aren't even making the 44K individually, that's still, if you making 30 and he making 30, that's still better than you making your 44 and you have several kids out of wedlock, and now you're scraping and grinding and working 2 and 3 jobs just to turn around and pay out money for daycare. When me and my husband had children, I was 25 when I got pregnant. I got married at 24. I got pregnant when I was 25. Okay. And so we decided, okay, we both can't be out working. Okay. We had to make certain choices. And so the choice was I was going to stay home. And I did that. And I thank God that I was able to do that while my husband had to go out in the community and work hard. And so I just couldn't fathom, all the amount of money. Do you know it costs about, if you have 3 children that are not school age, it costs a little more than $1,200. And I'm actually probably lowballing it when we think about the cost that it is to take care of your child. You're going to work to pay somebody else to take care of your kids. And again, we got to do what we have to do, right? And no shame on the women that have to do that, right? Because there are certain circumstances. However, to intentionally go into life saying, I'm just going to enter into a relationship or a situationship, open up my legs and have a baby. And the man may not even wanted the baby. We can also talk about that. But you still opened up your legs. If we don't know anything else, we know it's your baby. And now you're going to have to be financially responsible. And no wonder why women are stressed out, because it does take a lot to take care of children. You as one person, you're not going to meet all the needs of your child. So that's, to me, is very selfish to intentionally put yourself in a position where you are a single mother. Yeah, we could talk about the men leaving, but you still chose that man and you can do better. So hold on, let me get back to these comments. So this is what I'm talking about when we talk about building communities. It starts with our own individual and personal choices. So let me see. So Jay says, I have teenagers. Well, my oldest works for DHL, so she's out of my wallet. Exactly. And we want to get our children to the point where they can be self-sufficient. And even still, they're going to still be in your pocket to some degree, right? So Jay says daycare is expensive. Back in the early 2000s, when mine were toddlers, it was $200 a week each. It's about, if you go to quote unquote some of the higher quality daycares, right? We're talking about at least $500. Okay. Don't get me started on when it's summertime, right? And you're putting your kid in a summer camp. If you want your child to go to the best of the best summer camps, we're talking about $450 a week per child, especially if you want your child to have a competitive edge in terms of having exposure to a STEM area of interest. $500 a week per child, and you got to buy an iPad, and you got to bring their lunch, and you have to drive however far just to take your child to these places, right? We didn't even get to medical expenses yet. Prayerfully and hopefully you have a child that is not ill. My children were sick a lot. I have come out of thousands of dollars, my husband and I, to meet the need of our children. My sons have what you call allergic asthma. So if it's like a cold, the flu, thank God they've never had the flu, but a common cold knocks my son out or my sons out. We're in the hospital. Emergency stay could be 3 or 4 days, or in the hospital, I should say. Who else we got? Hello, Cree Cree. Thank you for stopping by. And yes, please hit the like button. So, hello, Diana. Thank you for stopping by. And hello, Cree. I'm so happy that you came by. I appreciate you. How have you been? I haven't seen you in a few days, so I hope all is well. So we're just chit-chatting about there was a question posed about a topic. And so I just kind of chose to start with what I think make more sense, right? And I think it starts at home, which is we have two-parent households, if at all possible, and we are starting there with the values and the morals and the things that we instill in our children at home. Now, two-parent households don't always have to be necessarily, okay, we're married. You can be in a committed relationship and provide for a family, both character-wise, both emotionally, financially, and all of that. But definitely there are some definite benefits that you get from being married, even from just the legal aspect of a father having some potential rights more so than just a man that's living in the home. And even that can get a little murky. Okay. And the lead attorney talks about all of that. So I thank you for being here. Let's see. And unfortunately, y'all, it's just so many things that just a father being in the home when you are a husband and wife, fathers provide, especially to their daughters, this sense of esteem that mothers can give their daughters self-esteem and help them in that way. But there's something that a father gives that mothers cannot. Um, and so we definitely want to make sure that we are enhancing all the potential that we have for our children by having the presence and involvement. There's something about when my daughter sees her father, my husband, it's, yeah, she's happy to see me, but there's just something about their connection and their relationship that is just top tier. You know, that, wow, that's my father. He understands. And then it don't help that she looks just like him. And so definitely just when she has that connection, and I see it not just in her, but a lot of fathers, when they are there with their daughters and even their sons, it's definitely their sons too. But it's just something about a father's involvement and presence in that home. Outside of work hours, you know, he's there, he's engaged. That makes a world of a difference in the child. So now she has an expectation. Now she knows the qualities that she's going to look for. Now she's going to have, Lord willing, her father to help her vet out men because he has set that standard in that tone. Okay. And of course a father is not like a husband, but she knows from what she sees in her home between how her father and I engage. And so when I see young women, I had a comment the other day. Someone told me in my comment section, they were like, just talking about divisiveness, right? Someone told me, you're supposed to put your friends before your spouse or before a man, right? And then I had to go in and say, well, we're not just talking about a man. We're not talking about a Pookie, Ray, or just a random person on the street. If we're talking about either your committed partner or your spouse, okay, let's be real. We talk about committed people. We're not talking about random people here. You're going to put him first, okay? That will make a difference. Yes, Chelsea. Somebody said that in my chat, talking about some ladies don't listen to this. And meanwhile, they sitting up underneath an anonymous profile. They don't even got a picture or their real name. Their name was anonymous. So if anonymous, if you ninja watching in here, please, we don't do the fake gibberish over here. Okay? We don't do the lies. See, now what does Creek say? My daughter is 15 and her dad passed away when she is a baby. I'm so sorry to hear that, Cree. And my current husband has been in her life since she was 3 and has taken on that dad role for her. See? Now, granted, it's not her biological father, but nonetheless, she still has a man in her life that can come in and take that leadership role in the home and is a role model. And he has displayed what that looks like for her. So she will know that as she moves forward. And that's the prime age. She's 15, right? As she's going to get older, start to explore the world. She's going to keep that value that you guys set the foundation for in her life. And that is amazing. And thank you for sharing that with us, Cree. I appreciate you. And I have some more statistics, okay? So back in 1960, do you guys know in 1960, 73% of children were born to two-parent households? I wasn't born in the 70s. I'm a mid-80s baby. Um, but for those of you who probably were born in that time or can remember what it was like even going into the early 80s, you probably know that it looked a lot different than it does today. When we look at it today, statistic wise, less than 46% of children are born in marriages, but and that's across all races. But in the African American community, we're talking 30 something percent of children born in marriage. Okay. Also, unfortunately, if you are Black and you have less what we call quote unquote formal education, you are also less likely to be born in a two-parent household. Okay. Now, again, I'm not saying that you can't be born to a single mother and not be successful. I'm a product of a two-parent or a one-parent, single parent headed household. I am a product of a father who was incarcerated my entire life, most of my childhood, even as an adult. Um, and I will still say I've had some definite adverse impact due to that. Okay. I did not have the best confidence and self-esteem. I did not know how to properly engage with men. Those were things that I had to learn because it wasn't necessarily shown to me in my home. Okay. And that's where you're going to get the most reinforcement at, is in your home. I remember spending time with family when I was a kid. And if you are a product of a single parent household, you may know what I'm talking about. But I remember spending time with people or like family or friends, and they had their parent in their home, and they would go to daddy daughter things, or it would just be me. And then all my people that I'm with are with that was really, really sad. And I saw that at a young age. And you remember that. And I knew, though, I didn't want that for my children. I didn't want that for my life. I knew, like, early on, when I became a young adult teenager, like, I didn't want to be a single parent because first of all, to be a parent at any age, whether you're a teenager, adult, it's going to be hard. But to not intentionally have, and we know that there are some circumstances, like Cree mentioned, her child's father passed away when she was young. So we're not talking about those, because those are really the exceptions, the situations, right? But when I see the choices that women have made throughout my life to intentionally go through, it's just really, it's sad, and you see it, and it impacts a generation as well, unless we decide to do differently and do better. So when we see these videos, I'm going to put it in the video that I'm going to make. It's going to be a drop for tomorrow. These young women are on TikTok acting like I said, mentioned earlier, we getting money over here. My kid dressed down to the, Balenciaga shoes and socks, and we living good, and we got this and that. All of that will never replace the impact that a man has on a child. You are breaking generational curses when you have a pot. And I'm not just talking about any man, because we can't just pick up a rando off the street. That's not what I'm talking about for the sake of having a man. I'm talking about a man that has the capacity to lead. He has provision, okay? And he has a purpose. I was just talking to someone, and I was telling them that that a man is a good man when he already has the mission and the foundation laid out. You know if that man is going to lead you down a path of, righteousness, a path of building. You're going to know that. Okay. If you with a man, he like, well, I don't know what's up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You're going to know. He's going to just naturally. When I met my husband, I knew he was my husband. Okay. And it was just like, you just know. And a man he's not going to beat around the bush with you. Okay. My husband and I were engaged within what? Maybe 8 months of dating. Okay. And my husband was young too. I was 23 when I met my husband. He was 25. Okay. Preach. I'm trying. Look, Chelsea be preaching. Chelsea, drop your channel in the chat. And if anybody else has a channel, please let Chelsea know or put it in the chat. And then Chelsea will put the link to your channel. Okay. It is an intentionality. It is. Now, and I'll say this too. If you are a young woman or a woman and you didn't have that, it is in your best interest to surround yourself with positive women or identify men that you trust to help you with the vetting process and allowing you to ask them questions when it comes to dating and partnering up. That's super, super important. When it comes to having, again, if you like Carisha, she says she don't want to be married. I call cap on that. I might put that in a separate video. I think that my opinion about that is really that she knows that despite the money that she has, the success that she has, she's a 2-time baby mama, okay, with a bunch of body work, okay. She chose that life, and she probably in this moment she probably enjoys that. But where are you going to be in 10 years from now? What example are you setting for your daughter when she's 10 years old and she looks back on the videos? Because the clips they're going to be out here. This stuff is forever out here. Every woman, it's just I think that God put that in us. That's just natural. Okay. What's not natural is you don't want to be in abusive relationships. You don't want to be in situationships. You don't want to be used like those women that Chelsea talked about on 600 Pound Life, where the men are only looking for a meal ticket, no pun intended, or looking for some financial gain. We're not talking about those type of men. Okay. But we are definitely talking about choosing differently. And it also is going to require you to be patient. And Chelsea had brought up a good point too. Even if you're not getting chose by men, if you're getting overlooked because you're not where you need to be in the looks department. And by looks, I'm not necessarily just talking about, you got to be bam, bam, this and that and all of that. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about when you have some physical improvement to make and you're going to be limited in your options because we are visual people first, right? And so if you have some work to do, work on yourself, but still have some standards and some class about what you're doing. You do not have to settle for the first man that gives you some attention. Hello, Big. Thank you for being here. We're just chit-chatting about positivity in the community, and it starts at home with the choices that we make, especially as adults. As we become older, we start to have relationships or explore the thought of having relationships, and how it's our responsibility. Just like when we talked about, I dropped a video, was it yesterday about friendships, right? It's our responsibility to choose women in our circle that's going to keep it real with us, especially when we're doing things that keep us from having successful relationships with men, right? Call us out on our stuff. You don't even have to be married to know that. Okay, but you do have to be willing to learn from other women who are going to be positive, and they're going to be dealing with real life, and they're not spewing negativity or things that are counterproductive to the way that we are intended to be. We are not intended as human beings to just grow up and just live our life intentionally, just solo dolo and kind of roll with that. Okay, we have work to do. Okay. And sometimes too, depending on the situation, if God blesses us with a spouse and maybe that was just that, right? We had our spouse and, whatever the situation is, okay, we've got that situation. And so we're going to continue to do the work that we're going to do. The funny thing about what women to say is that some women, not all women, okay, how they'll say, well, I don't want to get married because, I don't got time for that. And it's just too much this and that. Okay. But you just sit here and open your legs and bust it wide open for a Pookie and a Ray Ray and let him do God knows what to you. and probably had one or two kids by one or multiple Pookie and Ray Rays, you'll keep dealing with him. You'll keep sleeping with him and tolerate whatever he got going on. But when a man comes along and wants to provide you with order, because men provide order. Women, we're naturally drama filled. That's just who we are, period. Okay? But you busting it open for him, and you will make excuses. I used to be a making an excuse person too. Okay? I had a guy I used to talk to. I dealt with that drama, and I just said, this is insanity. Okay? I said, Pookie with all caps, party line. Okay? You will deal with that. But then you're going to have 1,000 excuses for a man. And let me say this, because I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay? I get passionate. But you'll deal with that. But a man come along and give you some order. It's too slow for you. You don't want to sit down. You got the restless leg syndrome. Okay. We have restless leg syndrome. We don't want to sit down. We missing out on something. Hi, Diary of Bell Rose. Hello, dear. I'm so happy to see you. We're just talking about, positive community starts at home. Okay. Your home is your first ministry. That is the first order of business, is your home. They want excitement. They can't let it go. Drama filled. When I think of when you said that, I thought about Glorilla on the FNF video when they all out there hanging out in the streets. Okay. Doing all of that day in and day out. I used to be hanging out. I used to do all those things. And then I decided I had to say, this is not life. This cannot be life. Okay. Like that Beanie Siegel Jay-Z song. Oh no, or who was that? Scarface. This can't be life. Okay, that song. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Diana laughing at me. That's funny. You got to get up out them streets. We all are gonna, nobody's perfect. We all gonna have our moments, but don't be like a lot of women who have regrets. And we know there's a lot of things that we don't have any control, medical issues, right? Just natural loss. Okay. People pass away. Things happen and we don't have no control. God wanted them and needed them more than they needed to be here. We understand that. But we're talking about the vast majority of us that are average, okay, that do have, we work typical jobs, okay. You need to get with somebody and stop thinking that somebody else is going to come along in 10 years from now. I never would have thought that at the age I am now, mid-30s, okay, mid to late 30s, that I could see where I'm at today. I would never thought 10 years ago I was going to be sitting on YouTube talking to strangers, okay? I didn't have that foresight. I didn't have that, right? So you don't know the time that goes by. Life moves by so quick. You think you're 21, you got all the time. You do not have all the time. Life will come by, and then you just start getting busy. You're going to spend more of your life as an adult than a child. So you need to wisen up, okay? Unless you want to work hard. I'm not going to be retiring from work at 65, 70. Let me just say that. That's not living, okay? That's not living. And let me say this too. Even if we know that life will happen, right? People like to say this too. Well, if you get married, things will happen. We know that life gonna happen. But if you got a smart husband, he'll have financial orders in place. And then when he does pass, you'll be set up. That's a good husband. That's a part of the provision as well. And you still won't have to be out here working and struggling, working 2 or 3 jobs, talking about I can't get no sleep, worrying about who's going to pick your baby up. Do you know how many children die because the mothers are leaving their kids in their cars because they don't have a babysitter? These are the same women that decided that they were going to go ahead and do this stuff. And children are a blessing. They really are. But how much more blessed can you be when you have your children in an intentional environment versus trying to get a meal ticket? I ain't want no meal ticket. I wasn't cut out for that. I wasn't cut out to be raising my kids by myself. They require more than just you as a mother. Early retirement goals. Hello. The best determinant of wealth is marriage, especially in the Black community, period. It's okay. You know, the percentage of black people that make six figures is only like 8%, maybe 18%. Let me back it up. And I'm talking about the low 100,000 is what I'm talking about, not the 500 and up. Okay. We're talking about only 18% of us make that amount of money. How many of those people do you think are men? We need to humble ourselves, ladies. We really do. And by humble, again, I'm not saying I have standards, but you know, them laundry lists, that's played out. You're gonna have to come with something else. Okay. You can't just show up to the table, this table that we all know going around, this table is passed around, y'all. You're just gonna have to do you're gonna have to do something different. And you know, and also, I don't know, did you guys see about I'm gonna put that in my mix too. We got Lil Scrappy and Bambi. Okay. Lil Scrappy was a rapper, real popping in the 2000s. Okay. He had some club anthems. I was there. I know. I was in the club. I was outside. Okay. He did have some bangers. And then Bambi, I don't really know a lot about her other than she was like an IG model, something to that extent. I think she do music a little bit. You know, they had 3 beautiful children together. She filed for divorce. Okay. Filing for divorce from men that you picked, or you didn't take the time and the energy to work through the situation. Okay. You don't want no problems. Chelsea knows. She knows. That was a banger back in the day. Still, too. I'll put that on at the gym. It might come on. But yeah, y'all, we gonna have to the statistics for black families and black children, and we see it out in the community all the time. It's just it's not cool. It's getting worse. Inflation. Did y'all see the article? Do you know how much the average cost of eggs are right now? Put a number in the chat. How much you think a carton of eggs? We're not talking about 18 count, 24 count, and we go through some eggs in my home. I'm talking about a dozen of eggs, what it is, like the average cost across this country in the United States. What y'all think that is? Hold on, let me go back. So what did Party Line say? They want the pookies that hold it down in the bedroom, but like the leadership to challenge their behaviors. Right. Do you see they get what's the word I want to say? God, I can't think of it. They want to be Ray Charles to the nonsense when it comes to that, right? They Ray Charles, Stevie wondering all day around that part. They see that, the other part, the bedroom part, loud and clear. And then only until it's some other nonsense going on. Okay. And then they want to act shocked. Come on, ma'am. You know what it's about. It does. It goes by so quick. You remember being, y'all, I used to do some crazy stuff. I used to be an undergrad, right? So I would do stuff like go to work. I worked part-time. Then I would go to school. Then I would go hang out, right? Stay out all day. Go to a friend house, family member house, spend the night. Go to school the next day. Get up, drive home, and then go to. That is crazy. Y'all, I remember doing that wild, stupid stuff back in the day. Okay. Y'all, and then here I am in my 30s. Just, thank God for that. But y'all, it's just time is just not, you don't have a lot of time. Plies had a real good video. I'm gonna try to put that in there too, y'all. Just about time and how we believe we have all this time, but really between 18 to what age? If we're gonna assume that we can take care of ourselves, we probably got about, if we have all our faculties, you probably only got 50 years that you're taking care of yourself before somebody got to be in your life to help you take care of yourself. In the work that I do, working in human services, you know how many phone calls I get about adults that are, and we're not even talking about like elderly. I'm talking about under 60, between 50 and 60 years of age. Not as much as, there's not as many of those that I get, but we're talking about adults 50 to 60 years old. having medical issues and they have no one to take care of them. Okay. Either because they don't have children or their adult children don't want to be bothered with them. And there are new articles that's coming out about that. And that also goes back to the importance of having balance in the home, because a lot of the articles that have been coming out about there's this new era of adult children choosing to not deal with their parents because they had a quote unquote crappy childhood. Okay. And who you think was the one that made their childhood crappy? Selfish women and their poor decisions that they made. It's rather sad. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. I'm trying to find my little mouse. So Jay says, hold on, Cree says, I felt like I was 25 last week. Facts, Cree. You know what I'm talking about. I remember 21. Thought I knew. Oh, did I think I knew? Woo. I thought I knew. Ain't no diddly squat. Okay. Let me see. And then hold on, to go further, that stat doesn't differentiate men are married, straight, single, or nutcase. Yeah. So wait a minute, y'all telling me the dollar amount. So $8, eggs like $7. Yep. It's about $7, like $6.48 or something like that. But yeah, $7 for 12 eggs. You don't have no time to be playing around talking about you don't need no husband. Because the one thing, unfortunately, if you are an entertainer, unless you have money tied up in other avenues of making income that doesn't rely on you to physically be somewhere like a hosting gig or a performance, you don't really have anything set up for yourself potentially. Hopefully they are smart about it, but basically you're going to be performing for the rest of your life trying to get money. Chelsea said, "Digmatized." That's right. That's what it is. Absolutely. I've been there before and I had to get out of that matrix. I bought some here last night in Dallas, down near $8 for a dozen of eggs. Okay. 1 dozen of eggs. Okay. People are having to make certain decisions and even if you're married, you're going to have to make certain decisions, but you got to have the two people together. I am petrified if I had to do this adulting by myself, especially with children. That is scary to me. Okay? Very scary. Let me see. Adult once, child twice. Yes, absolutely. Yep, a dozen eggs. I'm about to price out chickens online. Child, I ain't about to pay enough like about my eggs. Let me tell you, I would love to have a farm. I say that, but y'all, I'm gonna have to definitely retire because there ain't no way I'm gonna be working full time and all of this stuff and taking care of some chickens. But I think we should be more sustainable, to be honest, as far as growing our own food and things like that. Chelsea says, ship her some eggs, party line. Hold on. Yes, we do need to move because we getting taken advantage of over here. So yes, give me the update. What are you putting down big as far as on your or in your garden? Let us know. We need to know the details. We need to know your ways of green thumbing it and gardening and all that good stuff. Let's see. So yeah. Let me see. So that's all I have on that. I thought I had, like I said, I had planned on showing y'all that video, but I am going to put it up tomorrow potentially if time is on my side to make this video. as far as that. So, what did y'all think about this conversation tonight? Oh Lord, we ain't talking about the frozen eggs. Now look, not the frozen eggs. Not those type of eggs. Look, don't do that. Save your money. You'd be better off buying the farm if you're gonna do that. Y'all, no frozen eggs. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. You won't even have to worry about that. Get yourself together, focus on you first, definitely, but also work on establishing, a relationship. Okay, so maybe we can have a conversation um about that too. So we're going to talk about partnering up with somebody or waiting until we are, whatever. Um Hold on, I saw something. It's coming along. I need to start recording my yard work. Yes, you do, Big. I want to see that. Okay, because I need a visual when it comes to that for sure. You can't put no manual handwritten guide down for me on that. I need to see what you are doing. Okay. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? What would you tell your daughters when it comes to dating and relationships right now? What would you do? How would you support that? Especially if you are not in a marriage, or if you come from a single parent household and you know that might be the best route to go, even if you weren't successful in doing that. How would you support your daughters in doing that? That's what I just said. And we have it established, and statistics are supporting that children do better and society does better typically when we have two parent households. Again, we know that there's one off nuanced situations. What are you going to do to support that for your daughter or your children too? I'll say this too. Like I said earlier, and I don't feel like I have to keep prefacing this. Or maybe I put this out here. If you have children, even if they're young adults, would you want your child to marry, male or female? Would you want them to be with someone who came from a single parent household? And by single parent, I mean female headed, knowing what we know. I want to hear y'all thoughts about this. Are you going to make a blanket kind of viewpoint about that? Or is it case by case? So Chelsea said, nah, I would like them to come from a two-parent stable household. Me too, Chelsea. Um, and I know I'm going to say that just because it's just a difference. There is a difference. And when we say two-parent households, let me say this too. Are all two-parent households, like nobody is perfect. No relationship is perfect. But to me, it is something to say about certain, and I know this because I see it with my kids' friends, right? My kids get invited to a lot of different parties, and typically when you going to a birthday party, especially for children, you get to see things that you don't get to see in a classroom, right? You get to see a little bit about where those kids come from that your children spend time with, or if your kids are in a sport or activity, right? And it's just something different about me engaging with the parents where there's a mother and a father that's present versus those children where it's a back and forth shuffling of children, or there's just no parent involved, or like the father is absent, or even if the mother is absent, depending on the situation. But we're going to say if the father is absent, right? Um, you can tell a difference. And if I had to pick, I want to say I want my children to come to marry someone from a two-parent household, unless that young woman or young man is just really exceptional in terms of their beliefs, philosophies, their plan, their purpose, their belief, and all of that. So he said, if it's my son, prioritize having a plan. Make him know that part of being a man is taking L's and overcoming it with perseverance. Absolutely. 100%. So Big says, so I would have to say it depends on the mindset of the individual or the mindset the individual has, because I didn't come from a two-parent household. And that's what I said too. There would be some exceptions, but I would say, no matter where the woman comes from, we're going to be vetting. We're going to be asking questions. I need to know their parents, and if you don't, both your parents aren't in your life, well, why? I need to know why, right? What was your situation? Okay. And like we said, all people who are born into single parent households are not horrible people. They're not. They're just like me, and probably many of you who might be in here probably came from single parent households. But I also think that also comes with a level of awareness too, right? And understanding about certain things in life. Unfortunately, we see a lot of young ladies that are in generations of women that support single parent households. And you see that because they go from relationship to relationship like that. And it's just like never ending, right? A man really needs to see what a stable marriage looks like for him to desire that. 110%. I agree with that. Even my husband, he would tell me that even though his mother had been married, to have a relationship with the partner of your mother is going to look different, right? And so if you don't even have that relationship and that's not being actively, because being married alone is not enough either. So let's just be clear about that. Like, you could be married, but if there's no true interaction and engagement, like even not seeing the parents or the husband and wife show affection towards one another, or how are they handling conflict, right? Because we're all going to experience conflict. And one of the main reasons why we see a lot of the things going on is that we have no true examples of what it looks like to go through conflict, right, wrong, or indifferent, right? And so children need to see adults disagree, and then also respectfully disagree, as well as come down or come to some type of common ground and problem solve and work through those situations. This is why you see so many people defaulting to divorce, right? I've put in all this time, or if things got to go this way, and the moment that it don't go this way, divorce, filing papers, okay? Because I've already spent this time with you. I want to be able to collect the check, get the kids, and then I'm going to continue to live my life. And then I'm going to think I'm going to get another opportunity. Well, you're just showing your kids that you don't know how to solve issues and you want to be a runner. And then Crease says, I'm encouraging my daughter not to be afraid of marriage, but also be cautious of how the guy she's dating is brought up. I mean, one parent households are risky, but I wouldn't totally count them out. And I agree with that too, 100%. And that's so important that you are having those conversations with your daughter. Now, I have those conversations with my daughter. She'll say funny stuff like, yeah, I want 100 kids. I'm like, nah, come on. Nah, because I ain't got no 100 kids. But just for her to have this mindset, like my daughter wants to be a veterinarian, but she also wants to be a wife. And she has that understanding that you are a wife before you are a mother, right? Just like I tell my kids flat out, I was a wife before you came in the picture. And if it was not for being a wife and the good Lord, you would not be here. And them having that understand. My kids didn't even understand, because they are so used to being in our home and seeing us. They didn't understand that all children didn't even have a mother and a father in the home. And we had to have that conversation with them too. And they started to see, now they're starting to see as they get older, oh, okay, that's why such and such, when I go to their party, and we've been going to their parties for the last 3 years, they don't never see the daddy. Oh, okay, I get it now. Okay. And it don't mean that they're not a good friend, the friend that they have, but it's just that that's the dynamic of their household. And then Cree said she's trying to teach her daughter about the red flags now and not ignore them. Absolutely. And Big said with his godparents, he saw it. Now, Chelsea, that's a whole word. Hello. Ooh, Chelsea, we should do a show about that. Let me know what you think. Married but single. Y'all know what she's talking about? Put a one in the chat if you know what she means when she say married but single. Because it's a whole lot of that. Go on Instagram. That's what was going on with the who was that? It's so many of them I can't even think. Married but single. They can't let that independent life alone. They're running the streets alone. That wanting to do what you used to do alone. You hindering your own marriage and your own growth in your marriage. And then Monarch Travel, what up, though? Thank you for being here. Monarch Travel says save 45% off flight and hotel packages for the 26th annual MLK Ski Weekend, January 13th. That's this weekend through the 16th at Seven Springs Mountain Resort in Pennsylvania. So check out Monarch Travel if you have any plans on doing anything like that. And then Party Line says, I would want my daughter to prioritize character, integrity, resourceful, spiritual over a two-parent household per se. Let's see. Wait a minute. Sexless marriages, sleeping on the couch. I saw a lot of that in my family too. First of all, I don't have a lot of married couples in my family, but I did witness that between my grandparents. That one will be in the one room, one will be in the other room. They was married up until they both passed. My grandmother passed first over a decade ago. My grandfather passed 2 years ago. And I never saw, like, they went in their own separate rooms. So, yeah, that's not cool. You should be having sex with your husbands. She said, yep, all that deprivation. Have sex with your husbands. Don't be loose and for the streets when you're single and then get married and then want to keep it clammed up. What's up with that? Now, there are certain situations. You got a medical situation, maybe just had a baby, getting adjusted to that. Your libido may be a little lower or it could be higher depending on the circumstances. Oh, Party Line. I still don't understand how you can be sleeping on a couch when you presumably pay the majority of the bills. It's madness. Pure madness. Pure madness. Even if the man is not paying the majority of the bills, if he's making less than the woman, he still shouldn't be sleeping on the couch. Because the one thing that the woman really can't do to the extent that a man can do is protection. And if you're not being protected, you can't even make no money as a woman. I would love that. Yes, let's collab. Hold on, what Big say? Schwangin'. Okay, so tell me, what's y'all opinion about this? And I'm going to read some more comments before I say this. So Cree said, I grew up in a single parent household until I was 14 when my mom married my stepdad, so I saw both dynamics. But single mama house is what I grew up seeing, and now I see the results of that. From a professional perspective, hold on. Big say them folks be schwanging. Oh, you're talking about those single but married couples? Yes, Big. That's the whole thing. I don't know all the details, but maybe we can look into it. I mean, just for research purposes, not because we want to live that lifestyle. Hold on. And then Chelsea says, if only I knew how to ski. Me too. Look, I'm not messing around with that. I'm just going to stick with these good old workouts. I'm going to do these jump squats. I'm going to do them bench step ups. That's what I'm going to do. Run. That's about as if well, no, let me take that back. If I had one activity, like a physical activity that I would do, what would that be? Have y'all seen them people they do the underwater snorkeling and they put the oxygen tank thing on your head so you can go down under the water? But see, I don't know if I'm really about that life. I'm just coming up with stuff, y'all. But maybe skiing. I don't know. I won't count that out. Then Chelsea says to you, Manar, any savings on trips to Texas? Manar travel? Let Chelsea know. Wilbert, hello. Hold on. What was tears? What was funny? I missed something in the chat. Wilbert got the looking eyes. Welcome, Wilbert. I'm just rambling. We just talking about how two-parent households are some of the best determinants in terms of building a community. So that creates stability, it creates structure for children and families, and you're teaching your children ultimately how to do the same. Party line say body count, but a born again virgin. I wish I had the when I get my camera game up, what my girl Danica be doing Zoom, okay, on that one. Like, come on now, don't pretend. Let's keep it a buck, okay? She said we have to do our little skater exercise like me skiing. Look, now that day was a rough day for me, Chelsea. I said, hold on now. Woo. I said, I know some of this caboose got to go because them skaters was skating, okay? That day, Chelsea. Hold on. So Party Line said, yes, snorkeling looks alive. It does. When I see it, when people go on those little excursions, I'm like, yeah, I would probably get down with this. Hold on, y'all. What I did. Like, I mean, some new little technology. To be honest, I've not been on here as much as I should to manipulate. Like, I'm pretty tech savvy for the most part, but I was just like, it's just a computer. Ain't nothing special about it. What else? Say, make sure you got the lungs for it though. So definitely, if you're a smoker, beware. Or if you're not where you're supposed to be, just be mindful of your breathing. Per party line, we've got to keep them lungs up. And it's big. So big. You've been skiing, I'm assuming. Please do tell in the chat your experience. So let's see what else we got going on here in the chat. Who? Oh, me talking about the women that's loose? Look. We can turn around, but let's just, y'all know what I'm saying. I'm not here to offend anybody or to shame anyone. I am not perfect. I have a lot of things to work on, but I'm just going to call it like I see it. And that's the only thing I can do. We can agree to disagree respectfully, but I'm not, that's just what it is. I have been, what's the word I want to say? I have made not so wise decisions in my life. But I just had to say, you know what? This can't be life. This is not the route I want to go. Okay? Not at all. All right. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat in case anybody wants to come up. All right. I am going to drop a video on the next day or so. We'll see. Y'all, it take me forever to edit some videos. I hope I added. Oh, last time I put the link for the share the stream, like y'all are already in here. How do y'all like my reaction videos that I've been doing? Like I said, I like to do topics like once a week, depending on what it is. I feel like either way, we always touch on something that's going on in mainstream media or something like that. But my channel, just so you guys, if you don't know, my channel just really was like a vlog, a lifestyle channel. I'm a wife and a mother, and I just kind of show the things that I like to do as an individual. I do have a family channel that is just basically my kids doing different things. You might catch me or, on there here and there. But I like the reaction videos because one, it does bring more attention to my channel. Let's keep it a buck. But then also I like how you can tie in some key things to a trending topic. So I do enjoy that. It is a little more work because I'm not always like the most aware of everything when it comes to social media. Right now, my favorite social media is YouTube. I really don't do Facebook like that. I got Facebook. I did reactivate my Facebook because of my workout fitness group. But other than that, I don't really even bother with chatting. It gets a little too, political over there. I don't really deal in that. I just deal with, look, I'm not arguing with you about reality. Like I'm not going to do that with nobody, period. And then over here, I like it because there's more of a positive community, but there's still going to be people that's going to say, whatever, that don't bother me. I could care less about a comment because it's a comment. And I don't necessarily have issues with comments that are different than my opinion. If you start getting disrespectful or you start talking some nonsense, either I'm going to walk you all the way down like in Elite Chopper, or I'm just going to ignore you anyway. And I don't want to walk you down all the way because I don't feel like having those exchanges. And so Party Line said the Too Broke for Marriage video went well. Thank you for that. I love a good meme. And I was like, oh, I can put my meme skills to work. Oh, I had some stuff loaded in the chamber, okay, for these videos. So I like to, maybe what I will start doing too is maybe I will, and tell me what you guys think. What did you think about me making a video, dropping the video, and then we come back and talk about the video? Tell me if you like that idea as well. I kind of did that, I think, the other day, but I think I did it in the reverse. No. I can't remember. Y'all, I got about 3 kids under my belt. Excuse me, my brain don't work as good as it used to, but I think I did like a reaction to, or did like a clip, and I showed that one clip, and then the next day I followed up with my entire reaction video to that. I think that's what I did. So let me know what you guys think. So wait a minute. Big said he made it about 3/4 down the slope before you crashed out. Oh no, man down, cold 10. And then she said, sounds like chess. That's an advanced YouTube move. You know what? A lot of people from the people that I watch, and some of the things that I see, that's kind of like what some people do. I was just watching a video today by Think Media. So basically, they are a content creation channel. So they teach you all these different how to and give a lot of good information if you're familiar with them. I do like one of the main creators, not one of the main, but he's one of the ones that they utilize the most. I want to say his name is Ishmael, or I don't want to mess up his name, but he did a really great video, and he talked about one of the things that, and you put it into perspective of content creation, you can look at a topic and then either break it down into like a marathon. So, hold on, what'd you say, Big? Talk about, yeah, my snowsuit ate good. He's so crazy. So basically, he was just saying that, if you have a topic, Big is so silly, goodness. You want to look at it like, how many different areas can you cover within that topic, right? And so you break it down into different series, right? So you can do in one episode, make or cover 3 or 4 different topics, maybe do like a 5 minutes on each topic in then one video. So think if you had all your episodes of a show you like, and he just used the example like he likes Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He can binge watch all of that. So you're doing kind of like the same thing in one video. You're stitching together multiple videos for one video on a topic. Or you can do like a what did he call the other example that he gave? I cannot remember. It's kind of like similar to that same type of strategy. But I think that to have like those sound bites that gives everybody an opportunity to kind of look over it and we come back and talk about it, that's another thing that we can do too. And especially till I get this whole software thing figured out on my end. And also I like that because it gives me some kind of evergreen content. And so Party Lime said, you sub for their perspective on camera setup. Yeah, they do. They have amazing videos. I like to watch them. And there's a couple other vidIQ. I definitely watch their content. And there's another person, Channel Makers. I watch some of their stuff too, to get like some good ideas and stuff like that. But the one thing I don't ever want to stray away from is the things that's important to me, which is family. And just having these conversations. I don't think everything has to be so, planned out all the time. I think we do enough of that. Like I plan out the time to be here. But I like to kind of, freestyle it and we can just talk about whatever. But most importantly, I like connecting with other people. I wouldn't want to be here just talking to myself. So this just allows me that opportunity to do that with you guys, and get feedback from other people and just hear other people's perspectives, even if they aren't necessarily the same as mine. I don't necessarily live in the vacuum or in the bubble. I'm definitely open to hearing other people's perspective. Thank you, little sister. I appreciate you for that. That's all I can be, y'all. I hope that no matter if you're watching me live, you're watching the video, it's never a personal attack, especially to women. I'm support women. I think it's just difficult when, as women, we have been coddled so much in our modern society that anything that is opposite to what we are fed in mainstream media comes off as an attack. But the reality is that we have not been checked about things. That was one of the things that was the most difficult, even for me in my marriage, is that, and this is why fathers are so important too, because a father provides that type of discipline. A father checks you so you're not hurting yourself. Mothers don't oftentimes have that same level of vision and foresight when it comes to disciplining children. When I say discipline, I'm not speaking in the physical. That's oftentimes why women are sometimes the majority of the perpetrators when we're talking about abuse, because we default to that a lot of the times. Not all people, not all mothers, but I'm talking about in the instances that I have come across abuse, it's the default. We snap. And so men like to provide focus. They like to provide solution-based perspectives and results. So when we think about, getting things done, taking care of the business, a man is so good about that. I love women too. I love, how can I not love a person that I came from? I've come from a woman, and you do need a woman's perspective on things. So I don't ever want anyone who's coming here that's a woman to think that I'm anti-woman, but I'm not dealing with and addressing and holding ourselves accountable, because that is rather treacherous to our society. And that is what's going on when we don't have men in the household. Men are not checking us. I had to get checked. I had to get put into my place. Hey, you're not living on your own. You don't have to worry about all those things. Your shoulders are not made for that. I got us, but you're going to have to trust us. And women, for some women, they can trust men with everything else. But when it comes, and that's a thing, a concern too. If you can trust a man with your body, why you couldn't trust him with anything else? And so if you can't trust a man to lead you, you only need to be busting it open for him. Okay? Nor should you be marrying a man that can't lead. I want to be led. My husband can lead. Do we always agree on everything? We do not. But we can agree to disagree respectfully, and I will not disrespect him. Definitely not in public. If I got something to say and it's a little sassy, I'm not going to do that. And nobody and anybody else see it. That's family business. That's behind closed doors. I ain't gonna be called no girl, and this and the third. First of all, that's negative. You up here running your mouth, and then you gonna still be with them. Come on now, make it make sense. So my goal, and this is a personal goal for me, I have intentionally been building a network of women that I can have camaraderie with. Okay. I ain't never met Chelsea a day in my life until YouTube. And guess what? Look at God. We live in the same area. We've been connecting, having great conversations. I learned a lot from her, and I'm much older than her. Okay. I might have a little bit of youthfulness on my side, but I'm an old bird. So, and she reminds me so much of me. I was like that from outside looking in, but I was kind of wise. Chelsea's way wiser than me. But it's our responsibility to put forth that effort, and I want to continue to have the conversations, and I would love for women to come up and chat with me, and to all of us to have these conversations. But yeah, we're going to talk about the things that we need to be called out on, myself included. Okay. I ain't nothing I'll do over here perfect. I'm just like everybody else. Okay. Cree too. I met Cree on here. I don't know her from a can of paint, but guess what? She always talking positive stuff. She's supporting family, supporting men. Okay. I'm not man bashing. If you want man bashing, you can go somewhere else. Okay. We don't do that over here, but men got work to do too. And we not going to never say that. We all got work to do. Hello, Maurice. I'm so glad you can make it. So yeah, I just wanted to hear, I just think that we don't see a lot of married women on here. Married, not married single women on here. There are some more, they coming up. But it is good. And when I heard the lead attorney say, if you're over 35, that's me. I'm over 35. About to hit 40 soon. You got something to say. It's not about you agreeing with everything that I say, but we can have some conversations and kind of go into that and get to some common understanding about stuff. Thank you. For sure. Who bashing these people behind these avatars that won't show themselves? And I'm talking about with the negative comments, and they got avatars up. Talking cat, their name is literally anonymous with no picture. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. But you know what? If you didn't already, please drop your channels in the chat. Party line, where are we on the channel? You ready? Or are you still working on some things? But yeah, nobody bashing over here. Everybody's been respectful. I really enjoy this. I wish I could do this like every day, random times throughout the day. I'm working towards that. I told y'all I'm not retiring at 65, 70 years old from work, which my husband wouldn't have that anyway. even private account, right? Oh my goodness, y'all, they be making them fake pages. Like this is not like high school. Thank you. Sometimes that's why I was saying about it, we're going to always touch on something that's real, but I think even when I listen to some other people's chats, it's like this is like therapy. When I go to Chelsea's chat, I get that same type of vibe. It's like really therapeutic. And yes, we know that we're talking and work needs to be done, but sometimes you gotta start from somewhere, right? You gotta have someone that you can hear something from that's encouraging and motivating, but then you got to take that and become disciplined, or you need to go out into your community and do the next step and get some additional resources and support. I like the detractors, girl. Them sound effects. Chelsea be on it. I need to give me a stream deck. I think that might be one of my next things I'm gonna do. We'll see, because I love me some good memes. I'm gonna upload my memes at some point, y'all. I'm doing this one step at a time over here. Oh, that is amazing. Please let us know your channel when you're ready to drop that information. I want to make sure that I share that over here. So yeah. Look, the time be going by fast. Yeah, we need the detractors always. So what is this Arkin one? I need to know. I'm out the loop. I'm kind of almost old, so I don't really know. I'm gonna tell you what I do know about Minecraft a little bit, Fortnite. I found my Xbox controller, but I think I need to upgrade my controller. I saw a cute pink one, but it wasn't wireless, so I need to get me a controller. Maurice said that he would get a kick out of seeing me game, whether it's with my children or play some type of game. And so I'm gonna work on that. I have to change some settings and stuff. It's like a whole thing, y'all. With these game systems and stuff like that. I'm like, I know, because you got to know if your kids like those things and you are monitoring what your children are doing, you need to know. There's really no excuse. The same thing with the slang words and stuff like that. You have to know the lingo, as far as what they say. No different than when we were kids and you had anybody that cared about you, they need to know. But now it's like, I did something so embarrassing to my kids the other day. We were out somewhere and I was like, get out the car. And I said, I'm going to start getting sturdy, if y'all know what that is. And I said, that little dance they do? If you know about TikTok, they do them little dances. And it's like this one dance where they be hitting their hip or whatever. And I was like, I ain't going to do that to y'all. Hello, Realistic Vibes. Thank you for showing by, for stopping by. I'm so happy to see you. How are you? I hope all is well. Haven't played games in 7 years, but I don't knock it. Look, I'm telling you, I play here and there with the kids because, as much as they say sometimes, I be doing too much, but I still appreciate the fact that they want me to be involved in their things because I know there will be a time where they probably will not. So I'm going to try to enjoy as much as I can tolerate it, I should say. I got a low attention span for some games, though. A lot of it, it's cool to sit back and watch them play, but me playing, unless it's like a Mario Kart, a Donkey Kong, or something like that. I have played Apex Legends. Actually, I do have that game. Call of Duty, one person shooter games. Yeah. Yep, I've played Apex. But then what I didn't like about Apex, the dialoguing a little bit sometimes was throwing me off. And I said, look, I just want to do what I need to do, put the suit on, you know what I'm saying, do the missions and just keep it moving. But there's a lot of chicks that play Apex. So we shall see. Y'all don't want to see no old black mama playing no video games on YouTube. Let's keep it a buck. Nobody want to see that. And I say old to be funny, but you don't want to see no mama, okay, playing no video games. I don't know. Maybe there's a niche for that. I don't know. But that is not my area of expertise. Ask me about, working with people, social work stuff. That's me. My wife and mom stuff. That's what you're going to get. Lifestyle stuff as far as being basic. That's me. So thank you for stopping by. If you guys have not already, please hit the like button. Okay. if you like what I'm doing over here, please tell a friend. Okay. We do not bite over here. We just chill. Tell me, do you guys like that I go live? Because I didn't tell you guys my new schedule. So I'm going live like once during the week. Chelsea, I feel so bad because I thank you for spending time with me over in my chat, and you just ended your chat like right before I got on to my chat. And so I'm trying to figure out what day I want to do my lives. I feel like I don't like too many days to go in between, but I'm also trying not to put too much pressure on myself. If I only do once a week, then that's cool too. Chelsea laughing. She was over there giving that good word, and I said, here I am just keeping the night going. Okay. I do feel like, though, if there's so many people that you support, it's just going to always be like that. You're going to be like in one, like if you all, and I would say most of us are probably familiar with each other, you probably cross paths with one of your YouTube buddies probably 2 to 3 times a day, at least, depending on what other spaces that you guys are in. And so it's like we all follow the same people, or some of the same people, I should say. We have similar interests. And then you're going to run into people, and it's just going to always cross paths like that. I kind of want to get into this new boxing game that's supposed to be coming out. But the point I'm saying to that too, Chelsea, is that that's okay, right? And don't ever feel like, oh, Mona is about to go live at 9:30. I need to finish up. You had to do that because you had a word that needed to get out. I know you probably had a time in your mind, like, okay, I really want to, do this within. Like for me, do y'all know what time I said I was going to be done tonight? And if you've been here long enough, I never stick to the time. Okay. But I was like, oh, I'm only going to be here for an hour. Stop the cap. Okay. Sometimes I feel like if it's not at least 45 minutes to an hour, you can't really, at least, because I don't really have a topic and I'm not that organized as much as I would like to, it takes me a little while to get into things. After I sat here, asked y'all how y'all doing, ran through, looked at everybody's comments, acknowledged everybody. That takes some time, and just naturally having conversations. So she said, dang, we've been in here for 2 hours. And see, that was another thing too. I think that when you are mindful about your scheduling, it is a lot more value that you can get out of your life too. Because to be honest, with everything else I have going on in life, for me in my life right now, it is rather difficult because as much as there's a lot of stuff that's going on, I like to kind of filter through different things and get the most quality information that I can and do my due diligence in getting research, right? And so it takes time. They say it takes at least 30 to 40, I think even more hours than that, between 30 to 50 hours to really give quality content. That's between research and editing. That's a full-time job, right? So think about if you had that much time to dedicate to content creation with research and doing the live streams or putting together the video on demand. Hold on. Hey, Theo, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Yes, I am streaming late. So I was just saying I had to get my little schedule together for the week, but I thank you. Please check out Theo's podcast, the Do Better podcast. My other fellow Detroit brethren, please check him out. Chelsea, if you could put his link in the chat. And wait a minute, I ain't mean to skip by nobody's thing. So Mortal Kombat, I like Mortal Kombat too. I do. I will admit to that. And then Red Lipstick Vibe says it takes a lot to get a show together. It does. That's why I say I always respect people, even if they're just coming on like how I do, right? And they may have a topic at some point, but that takes a lot. You got to make sure you don't have no kids at the house. You got to make sure your kids is in bed, your lighting is good, your sound is good. You got to do the preparation. Do you even remember to get you some water by your side? just all the things that you're doing, right? Making sure that you're mindful of other people's time. What else? It's a lot. Hold on. I got to go back and get these comments. Let me see. Wait a minute. What dance? Hold on. I'm trying to go back and see. I didn't mean to skip the dance post. Yes, I've had to cut back on the live shows. I am starting to do pre-recorded videos. I needed a break. Yeah. And that's why too, I was like, well, let me just do some pre-recorded content. And so what I kind of want to do is do pre-recorded content, and then we can come back and talk about the pre-recorded content. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, I found it. We need to see you and Chelsea play one of those dance step games, like a YouTube dance off. Look, dancing is not my area of expertise. The only dance game I play is Just Dance. So my 7-year-old, she loves to dance. She's actually was a little disappointed because she chose gymnastics. She's not feeling gymnastics anymore, and she wants to go back into dance. But unfortunately, that window has closed, and so because she's been doing dances, recitals ever since she was 3 or 2. So this is the first year, besides when COVID hit. I should have said my other word, but this is like the last year. Well, yeah, last year I should say, was the first year she did a recital. She wanted to go back into gymnastics. We did that. And so now she's like, I want to go back to dance. And personally, I just didn't have it in me to put her in 2 things. It's a lot of time, a lot of energy, not to mention money. And so we was like, look, you don't do the gymnastics. So now we're just finishing up gymnastics, go back into dance. But yeah, my daughter is the dance girl. That is what she likes to do. We do play Just Dance. But as far as for me and these old bones on YouTube dancing, I don't know, Chelsea. Chelsea, I know she likes to dance. That's her thing. Let's see. She said, yes, I remember. Yes, they still going strong. She wants the new one for 2023. So we'll see. That's a full workout. I'd make sure I track my my exercise on that game for sure, for sure. 24K subs. Look at you. Look, I be geeked if when I get like 1 or 2. Like, hey, thank y'all for coming over here and tolerating me. Let's see. So y'all talking about different games in the chat. Yes, please. Hello, Swift. Thank you for being here. So we were just talking about building a positive community. We were just rambling at first. I was saying hi. We talked about how to build positive communities. And so it's such a broad topic because we can also talk about, okay, well, then the communities aren't where there should be. So what can we do when we didn't even get into that? Because I started off with what I believe to be the foundation of strong communities, which is solid families. And solid families start with mothers and fathers in the home. If you don't believe in traditional marriage, that's fine too. But either you're going to have a committed relationship, mother and father on the same page in the home and actively engaged with the child's life. And then you have married couples, and or even if you're not married, at least is the father actively engaged in a child's life. And good night, Maurice. You have a peaceful night. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me. Please get your rest. Rest is important, for sure. So basically, that's what we were talking about. I want to return to do live potentially on Saturday or maybe even Friday. Friday, I didn't have a lot of people to show up. I don't know what it is about Fridays, and I noticed this across many different channels. A lot of us don't get the views like that, and rightfully so. It's the end of the week. People are chilling. They're probably on a date night, whatever. So, you guys let me know. And good night, Maurice. Do y'all like the 9:30 time slot? Let me know that as well. Do you guys like the casual where we may have a topic or two to talk about? We kind of just go from there. Um, and then do you guys have any questions about me? She said 9:30 is lit. I think 9:30 is a good time too, especially if you're going to do more than an hour. I think that it's, I know I had to turn that autocorrect off. It was getting too wild, Chelsea. I said, now come on, autocorrect. We're going to have to do something about that. I just turned it off. So I'll try to do 9:30. Are we also talking about even if it's like a Friday night or like a Saturday night? Let me know about that too. I also did one of my very first lives, I think was like on a Sunday, and I think it might have been at like 5 o'clock. The only issue with Sunday is that Sunday is like National Do Your Daughter's Hair Day. So for me, usually 5 o'clock, when it gets to be about 5 o'clock, we're cutting into dinner and also doing hair. So, but we'll see. I'm going to test some different things out. Who said I told you, Mo? About what? Tell me what he said, I'm brand new. I don't get to say, well, hey, look, I'm open to hearing any type of suggestions. I am a new infant channel. I don't really know nothing. Okay. I'm trying to get myself together. So hold on. I'm going to answer your question, Theo. I just wanted to catch something. Please remind me to get a mouse because my mouse, the little USB thing you put, that part just lost. So now I got to get a new mouse. So I heard 9:30. Creek says 9:30 wind down time. Yeah, I like that time too. Okay. So we're gonna go with the 9:30 on, I guess, whatever day I go. Would y'all watch me more than once a week, twice a week? And then Theo, so tell us your YouTube goals. So my YouTube goal, my number one goal for this year is to get monetized. That's what I'm focused on. But more importantly than just monetization is a community. I don't think that I've been holding over 100 subscribers and growing just for the sake of people. Not granted, people have unsubscribed, and also it could have been YouTube unsubscribing people too. But I want to have an organic a number of subscribers. I don't necessarily want people, to just subscribe to me just because someone else said it. Like I want people to like what I'm doing over here too. So I want to be able to just grow my channel. I do want to be monetized well before the end of the year, Lord willing. But even if I'm not, I just want to constantly be present here in my space. I want to be consistent. And I definitely want to get at least 1,000 subscribers by, what is this? If we are almost at the end of January, I would love to get 1,000 subscribers by June. Like that, to me, I think I can do that potentially. But I also know that that will depend necessarily on if my content is quote unquote viral, if it's something that kind of resonates with people. There's just so many factors in that. I have noticed though with my reaction videos, those tend to bring in a lot more of the subscribers and people that probably resonate with some of the points, because it's like you quick hit, you get in there and all of that. Party Line said, how are my watch hours? So my watch hours, let me go to my studio and see. You know how they have that delay on here. Let me see. All right. So I'm at 135 watch hours. So I got a lot of cooking to do over here. And so Swift says, I know it would be a lot, but I've always wondered why no one does a daily, weekly, a few days a week show covering the highlights of what's trending on YouTube from several channels. That would be a lot, though. Hmm. That's actually not a bad idea. And essentially, that's kind of what I think a lot of people may be doing, but just on a kind of isolated type of topic, I guess I should say. What we tend to see is a person will pick one trending video, and then that'll kind of go on and circulate either on that person's channel. They may break it up into a couple different things, or they may have um, maybe a couple different topics, I should say. So, what I'm hearing you say is take multiple different things from whatever the day is and put it in like a highlight kind of. So hold on, I'm missing stuff. Is that what I'm hearing? So it's kind of like you're talking about different things, about what's trending. So let me know if I heard you correctly. So she said, I mean, Party Line said 4,000 time, 4,000 in a year time span. YouTube has a tough ass to be monetized. In previous years, we didn't need all of that. Yeah, I agree. And you're right. When I think about the amount of time and effort that it takes to put into this content, um, as far as even getting those watch hours, I mean, it depends. Hopefully, you don't even get any issues with the videos to begin with, and they don't, try to ban the videos, right? Depending on what you're talking about. But if we're going to say, luckily, my content, I've not had that issue. Doesn't mean that I won't, but um, I think if you really to be successful here in this space, it's going to be hard to do, especially if you want to reach a certain goal. Unless you have a job, if you do work full time, unless you have a job that's really flexible, it's going to be very difficult because it is that time aspect that you need. I am a wife and a mother first, so I don't have that type of time outside of working. Right. And this is why I do live stream at night, because this is the best time for me and my lifestyle. So, um, yeah, it is going to be difficult, but it's doable. And so that's why for me, I am like okay with getting monetized sometime in a year. For me, I want to get the subscribers, and then all of the other stuff will come, for sure. Hold on, let me see if I missed anything else. This mouse just doing whatever you say. Just say fair use like everyone else. Yeah, I do. Sometimes I have it in my banner too. I have another banner, and now sometimes I say fair use, fair use. So I definitely put that disclaimer in there. And so, how you avoid copyright claims. So it depends on the content. So, like for some creators, if I use their content and I know them personally, I will reach out to them. But other than that, the best way that you can avoid copyright claims is to do a reaction, whether it's, doing it live. If you're reacting to something and you have to stop and have conversation, you just can't let the whole thing run and you're not saying anything, giving your own opinion or view or perspective. That's one way to avoid a copyright claim. Um, Definitely not using music that you do not own the rights to. I think the music is one of those things that gets you hit with a copyright claim or something like that real quick. I just pay for Epidemic Sounds, and I primarily pay for I'm paying for the license of their music. And so I don't really have those issues. If you use an Epidemic Sound or any other thing, like a licensed music app or program, just make sure you're always putting in your channel. So that way, if you're posting content, they recognize, hey, you already have a license. And so they won't hit you with a copyright claim. I got a copyright claim. I have a video on my channel when I went to the Chris Brown and Lil Baby concert when they came to Detroit last summer. And even though I had background music that's licensed music over the concert music, and to be honest, the concert music wasn't all that loud, but they still picked up on that And it was an outdoor concert, so the quality of the sound to me wasn't all that great, but somehow it got filtered through their system and they picked up that it was their copyrighted music. So I have a claim on that, which a claim is not the end of the world, and it really don't mean a lot to me now because my content isn't monetized anyway. But when we get to that point, do I want to go through the hassle of cutting that out, or do I want to split those shares with the creator? Okay. A Wakanda emoji. Yeah, and it's getting worse, unfortunately, with all their rules and what they're cracking down on. Even with language, that's going to get cracked down on a lot more. A lot more things are going to be censoring. So, but YouTube is still, YouTube is projected to be, and YouTube will be the number one place for podcasts, period. All types of content. When it comes to all things video, YouTube is going to be the top dog. And so if you are like me or like many of us who are early in our stages of our channel, until you get enough of a buy-in when it comes to your content and enough support, you're going to utilize YouTube to kind of build up that community and of supporters before you even decide to do something else like a Patreon or a Rumble or something like that. Yeah, and that was the thing. It's getting to the point that when there's certain types of, Manosphere content is definitely getting demonetized. There's certain language that they are adding to their database that is going to get picked up and flagged. I don't even have cable. I used to have cable, especially when my sons and even my daughter, when they were really, really toddlers. But at this point, we don't watch TV. Everything that I watch is mostly on YouTube. I watch a little bit of Netflix here and there, but to be honest, I have a hard time keeping up with series and shows anyway. I mostly do. I'm reading some articles or I'm watching some type of content for, research purposes or just for entertainment, edutainment is what I would say most of the things are that I consume, even if it's in the Manosphere Red Pill community. Let's see. Hold on. This is why I respect all people that live stream, and you have to keep up with this chat. And again, thank you guys for coming here. So Swift, you're thinking about doing a evening news thing, and it's usually one clip, like 80 seconds or 60 seconds from several channels. And then are you going to do like some reaction or give your perspective on it? I think that's a good idea. Is it going to be over random type of topics or like one particular type of topic? And let me know. But what I do is, if you look at my videos, probably with my ideas, you have to watch all sorts of content, take the best edited, then comment on it in an interesting way. Seems like a ton of work, especially if you're doing it part-time. It is. Those videos that I have on my channel, like those, just the short form content, are basically, I have a topic that I pull from a trending, something going over in social media, mostly probably from Instagram, or even if it's something that I might find from like somebody that I watch. So like, for example, the clip that I'm going to show tomorrow was from that Cam Newton interview that he did this past Friday. And so he had a couple of key things that they talked about. I basically use those as my talking points because it is something that I want to speak to. I find other articles, information. I do my own independent research as well. And I'm kind of curating everything else that I'm finding. And everything that I'm finding is not necessarily to say I agree with it or disagree, but I'm finding things that talk about the different perspectives to that particular subject, and to just give everybody a different idea about that topic in general. And I'm having a dialogue in between, or either at the beginning, I might give a little bit of my opinion, and I put all of that together. So those videos span anywhere from maybe 9 to 15 minutes. I try not to go and do a whole episode, but for me, that's my episode. And so those have been getting the most views, and I've been able to garner more subscribers because you're getting a sense of maybe where I stand on something, or just you're hearing my perspective. I'm not going to, go all out on certain things, but that's just my viewpoint, my perspective, and I'm going to take advantage of that trending situation. Or even if it's not trending, if it's something that I think is interesting to kind of just revisit, I'm going to, hash that out through that curated content and kind of stitching those clips together. But that takes time and research. And when you have so many other things that's, priority, that's something that you're going to get to when you can. And that's what I was saying too. It is getting more strenuous, but it is the place to be. They are letting less stuff get by. That is true. Definitely they are cracking down. They got these ninjas in the background. They get paid good money. That's what they do. And they're also using this software, obviously, because people can't be everywhere all the time. There's too many channels, right? So if you know anything about it just came out, I want to say, I forgot, it's Adobe. They have like their own newsletter, but the bottom line is when you look at the research and the statistics that just came out right now, content creation is a $20 billion industry. It is projected to be $100 billion this year. We need to be working and getting to this money. So that way we're not working so hard for other people, and we are still supporting ourselves, supporting our families, and you have more time. I'm not saying that, being a content creator is the be all end all, but it's nice, like Lee Attorney says, where you can, have a little more freedom and choice when it comes to your time. I would much rather choose to get up and make my content on things that I'm passionate about, and bring awareness to, versus, pushing someone else's dream. And especially if you are a parent, you want to be able to have flexibility. I already have an extra strategy from work anyway. That's going to happen within the next probably 1 to 2 years. But what a way to utilize this platform to help accelerate that, and provide me with some additional opportunities. I'm definitely going to work towards that. So Pardon Line says, I won't expose the username, but someone I was sub to was monetized with 1.5 subs. Now he started from scratch with 100 subs. Must be disheartening for him. So he got demonetized. Is that what happened? So I watch YouTube more than anything now, but I am noticing more people going to Twitch. Yeah, I like Twitch too for certain things, like all those festivals and stuff. Amazon pretty much does an amazing job with getting those streamed. For the most part, they're clear. I definitely use Twitch for that. Sometimes we do stream. My kids and I, we will stream on Twitch on occasion, but definitely Twitch. Twitch is just like this. When you see, it's mostly just people talking about different things, no different than TikTok. And I don't really do TikTok like that. It's just a bit much for me. And maybe it's the millennial in me. I just don't want to deal with that. This says, I'm just the idea guy. That's what I mean. That's why we have conversation, we dialogue, because I don't know everything. I mean, I want people to enjoy my content, and if I want people to watch my channel, I want you to find value in what I'm doing. So I'm open to anything. At this, not anything, let me just back it up, I got standards, but I am open to suggestions of things that I can do. You guys were the ones that suggested that I look into doing some reactions about maybe some of my perspectives, and I started doing that, and that was so helpful for my channel. I have had people comment, especially younger women, to say, oh, I thank you, this was a really good point, or somebody that had a different perspective to mine. I'm not the go-to and the end all be all, so I want to have conversation about these things. So hold on. Someone is asking, are you, Party Line is asking, are you on Twitch? Then I hear Twitch pay good. They probably do, because we know TikTok is robbing people. I was just listening to a story about a creator that had like over millions of subscribers or views, and they only paid him $200 or something like that. When they did the math per however they calculated with their formula, they're not paying people. Was it 1.5 million or 1.5 thousand? I don't know if I got that right or not. And please, if you guys have a channel, please put it in the chat. Yes, Creed, get that channel going, ma'am, so we can come and support you. When the lead attorney, I've been watching the lead ever since the pandemic, and That was the one thing, especially as he started to see some growth in his channel and he got that information and he said, look, when you are over a certain age, or if you're at any age, but especially if you're over a certain age and you've lived life long enough to have had some experiences, you need to be sharing that information. And also the beauty is that everything is not going to be for everyone. Okay. I would much rather have people here that genuinely like what I do. And again, you're not going to agree with everything that I say, but you want people to be here and find value in what you do. And why not? What you got to lose? It's people that's making money off of video shredding papers. Okay. What do you have to lose? Not a thing. Cleaning toilets. Okay. They getting money from that. You got to grind. You have to grind. Maggie, the substitute teacher, grinding, cooking 2-3 times a day. Okay. That's dedication, discipline, commitment. Okay. She got monetized in 90 days and she has a course to teach you how to get monetized. But I will say that consistency, it will make a difference for sure. Hello. Oh, I got my special sis in the house. Hello. Thank you, Shan, for stopping by. Look, I don't usually go this late. It's 2.5 hours I've been on here. I don't know what time it is where you are, but it's after midnight here. So I so appreciate you for stopping by. I'm just rambling. Look. Yes, please like the video. You heard the man, Swift. We do love her channel. And yes, let's get the likes up. So Shan, we were talking about building or having a positive community. And I was asked to talk about that last week, but I felt like that's such a broad topic to talk about when it comes to that. So I decided that I wanted to focus on what I think is paramount to all other areas, which is starting at home, right? So I believe that if we have husbands and wives, mothers and fathers, even if you don't subscribe to traditional marriage, that's perfectly fine. But if we have husbands and wives active, having, conversations in the home, setting a foundation, having some type of values system in place where they are instilling in their children values to where they can continue to contribute and carry on that legacy, and they can contribute and foster growth and development for their own families, which is going to extend to the community. To me, that supersedes any and everything. It starts at home. And so I talked about how for African Americans, we make up the highest amount of not African Americans, but the highest amount of single households where they're mostly headed by women, but we are, not that high in population. It's very disproportionate in terms of those statistics. So we're going to have to make some changes so we can see some different outcomes. And yeah, we got some work to do. So I was on my little soapbox for a minute. So somebody said, yeah, that's probably one idea. Yeah, with the watch parties. Look, y'all, what's some shows that y'all watch that y'all would do something for like that? Yeah, I talked about how, I got a troll, Chantel. I have an anonymous troll that came over and told me friends before men's. Okay, they said no man should come before your friend. You're right. If it's just a random man in the streets, a Pookie Rayway, he shouldn't be coming before your friend if it's a solid friendship. But understand, when you get married, when I got married, I have experienced the most loss in friendship at that point. And I think it was for many reasons. You get married. Right after I got married, I got pregnant and had kids. Most of my friends didn't have kids. Right. Or they may have had their children, a lot younger than I was. I was 25, 26 having a baby for the first time. If you had your baby at 17, 18, then, you already ahead of the game. So, of course, we're not going to have the time necessarily to foster that. And I had 2 babies at once for the first time. So I'm definitely not doing the things I used to do. But we definitely gonna have to address some things. Not they smell like zest and shame. Lord have mercy. I don't mind it. They can come on and say whatever. I take all of it. As long as they not cussing and being too out of control. But come on over. Say what you want. We can have a debate, but I'm not gonna debate too much on no text. Okay. You can come on over in my live if you got some differences. Hold on, I feel like I missed something. Y'all, this is so difficult. Somebody said Cheaters. Hold on. You talking about review Cheaters the show? That would be funny. That would be so funny. And so Party Lime is saying, hi to Chantel. I think I saw you for the first time on Ladies Die channel, Dating to Marriage. Yeah, she has an amazing channel. Yeah, and that's not, I think that's a good idea because when you're so early in your state, like me, I'm doing just random stuff. I started off only posting food shorts. Okay, because most people, we like food, right? And so it was something that I was already doing. I have a family to cook for. Why not record, the food that I'm making for me and my family and make a video? And I was pretty good at editing the stuff. So let me just do something real quick. It's not anything extra other than me propping up my like my gooseneck phone holder and all that stuff, setting up a light for some additional light. That's it. And then sitting down and editing that. And for me at this point, it takes me like 30 minutes, maybe a little less to edit a short. So that's how I started my channel. Then I started doing putting some family stuff here and there. And then I started adding my workout videos, just a little quick like a little fitness vlog or something like that. Then I started doing a reaction video. I'm just doing different things, not nothing that's too crazy, but just trying different things that just relates to my life. Relationships is important to me because they should be important to everybody. We're human beings and we can't go out about living life with just us. So just try different things. You have nothing to lose, and understand that it's probably going to be not to our expectation in the beginning. And that's okay, because that's how we're going to learn. I just now this will be my 103rd, 104th video on this channel. And I've been doing this for 90 days or so. So you got to start from somewhere and you have nothing to lose. Oops, hold on. Yes, Tom Swift. Everyone in here, please hit the like button. Don't make me go Theo Coop language on y'all. Like Theo said, it's hard to remember to even say that on your own channel, asking people to like. That's why I put it in the ticker. But sometimes we don't be paying attention to that little ticker. We be just having conversation. So I think we agreed that the 9:30 was a good time. And I kind of, hold on. So you're saying female content creators are getting popular on Love and Marriage Huntsville watch parties. Haven't watched it myself and don't plan to, but this is an idea for woman I'm speaking to. Okay. Yeah, see, I know what the show is. I just don't watch enough of that stuff to know. I barely don't even know about Love and Hip Hop no more. I didn't gave up on that about 4 or 5 seasons ago. And even still, I wasn't watching it like that. But I'm still familiar more so with that show as far as the characters, the personalities. Oh, you want me to do that, or you want Cree to do that? Let me know what you mean. We can all do it. Look, it's enough episodes. Yeah, you know what? I agree. I had to work myself into live streams because one, I had to figure out how I wanted it to be. Even just it's just so many logistics that goes into it, right? The planning, the where you're gonna sit at, the lighting. I was sitting at my dining room table. Then I said that's not gonna work because the lighting was trash. To be honest, I like live streaming during the daytime because I like natural light better. That's the best light, way better than any artificial light. And so I have a really great natural light where I'm at, but at nighttime it's trash. So I have to use this lighting, but this is the best lighting than where I was before. So I was just kind of working through all that stuff. Then I have some times where I was just on here and you never saw my face. It was just a little, every time you talk, the little circle move, you know what I mean? Not smoke something, put something in the air one time. What y'all smoking on that Zaza? What y'all smoking on that what I want to call it? A birthday cake? What y'all got? Y'all is crazy. All right, y'all. So did y'all have fun over here? Not this. What y'all think? I don't think I am the most interesting person. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on myself, but I just enjoy interacting with you guys and being here and talking to you guys and just being chill. What should I do for my next video on Friday? Let me know. I think I'm going live Friday. Yeah, that's why I say I respect when people go live. It's definitely where, you are vulnerable. And then I didn't even touch on just the technical stuff. That is my issue. I don't ever I just feel like I'm always doing something from the time I get off of work to the time then it's up until this time. It's like I'm getting off of work and then I'm back into my other work, which is, of course, spending time with my family, getting the kids situated. So I'm doing the homework, the cooking, and I'm not doing all this by myself. I'm just saying that these are things that, you leave one thing, you got something else going on. And so for me, it's like doing all of this, and then you're trying to get everything together. And by the time you look up, it's like, hey, it's 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I don't like to push my lives back. I'm already going to be 10 minutes potentially late, but I don't want to push it back any further to like 10 o'clock, 10:30, And so I'm like, well, we just going to just show up. So me doing the little testing and all of that, I don't ever get to do. And I'm going to do better about that. So Swift says, good start. And a good start and meet some new peeps. Absolutely. That's what I like the most about being in this space is that I have met some amazing people. Chantel, Theo, all of you guys, Cree, Chelsea, just so many party line. Like I like that the most. And especially when, I don't know about you guys, I did that piece the other day on female friendships. Some people were upset with Shantae. They got triggered, okay, by what I said. But it's difficult sometimes. And I don't know, men, let me know if you find it difficult to meet solid guys just in life. I'm saying in life, period. And again, I don't know everybody in terms of, we still are in a virtual space, but it is rather challenging. And one of my personal goals for this year was to network. Even amongst with YouTube and growing my channel, you're going to have to network. You are not going to get here by yourself. I don't think anyone that has been successful on YouTube just got there because they just posted a couple videos, depending on what it is. But even still, it's still a level of networking. Someone had to tell somebody, right? Even if you don't know them personally. So networking and working with each other and collabing is something that's really important. Yes. I think that female friendships are important. I am not anti-women being friends. I just believe that women are going to have to bring their best foot forward when we are engaging with women in a friendship as well. You have to vet out friends just like you would vet out a man. And if we know women, some women are not vetting out men, they're not vetting out women properly. Let's keep it a buck. Some of them, not all of them. Speaking of work, I have a 7 a.m. call and I better get going shortly. People get mad if they can't get their drugs. I work in pharma. So I tell people I keep America medicated for a career. Well, I thank you for your work. I mean, that is a skill set that you have to have, and it's one with great responsibility. And we know that people do need medication to an extent for some situations. So I appreciate you and the work that you do. And rest is so important. That's another personal goal of mine, is to get rest, so I can show up and be the best me as possible. Y'all are so silly in here. So I thank you. I know it's late. And how late is it where you guys, party line? What time is it where you are? Let me know. So I'm just going back. So, Cheaters. So if y'all want me to review Cheaters, so it's 11:25 Central Time where you are. Okay. 11:30 in KC. Okay. And it's 12:25 where I am. Eastern Standard Time. To be honest, that's about my bedtime, and I'm going to do better. Okay, so we're going to review Cheaters. Ooh, that's interesting. I don't know how I'm going to. Cheaters do be lit. I'm not going to hold you. Maybe we can do that Friday night. Have us give our perspective about. So when we think about cheaters, are we talking about identifying? We can talk about like red flags. We can talk about what else we can talk about. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see about how we can do that. But definitely like some red flags. If you ever dealt with a cheater, serial cheater, you know. And then is it cheating if you're not married? Like if you're just dating, is that really marriage? I mean, is that cheating? Mona Shemansky. The old age question, what is cheating? You know, I think that could be different things. I don't even know if cheating is necessarily just sexual. I think cheating is emotional. Um, so you on the big screen. That's right. Look, I never thought I'd be here, y'all. I'm telling you. That's kind of, this is different for me. I am very introverted. Not like a social butterfly. That's not my thing. I am. If you put, I like to let me say this. Let me say this. Yes, I will talk to people in public. I'm not antisocial. It's just that I am not like my husband. Completely opposite of me. Can walk in the room, just talk. That ain't me at all. Unless I am. Depends on the space that I am, though. Yes, get your rest before work. We want to be well rested in 2023, especially if you over 30, we got to get our rest. Please believe me. Oh, you got me on a big screen. Okay. That's what's up. How many of you guys do watch YouTube on TV, or do you mostly watch on your device? Let me know. Or do you mix it up? I'll say this. Most of the time, because I am working, and then by the time I am able to wind down, I'm probably watching YouTube on my iPad or my phone, and probably more my phone than my iPad. Because if you know anything about these iPads, at least my iPad, it just charges super slow. So I usually watch YouTube on the TV, like if it's like a weekend, Friday night, and I'm chilling, catching up on some vlogs or whoever's that's going live. But to be honest, most people who I watch live, I watch on the phone because I want to chat with them, or I might be a moderator for. So I definitely mostly spend time watching YouTube from my phone. But then on certain shows I do watch on the TV. So for example, if I watch 5150 Corey Holcomb live stream, I probably will watch that from, it depends. Like if it's like a random Tuesday and I don't got to work on that Wednesday, I might stay out on the couch and watch it for a little bit, but I mostly might watch from my phone unless I fall asleep. So, and then that's that. But yeah. So yeah, Theo, what did you think about my goals? Do you think that was reasonable? And tell me what you think as far as my subscribers. But I think time is always of the essence when you talk about this content creation. It's no joke. I think even for myself, because with my family channel, we don't drop a lot of videos as much as we should. I have more videos on this channel that I've had for a shorter amount of time than my family channel, because those require the most editing typically. But statistic wise, they say it takes about 26 months. So if you think about being a full-time content creator and you're coming out of a traditional work environment and you're like, okay, I want to get to the point where I can be sustainable to support myself financially. Statistics show that it takes about 26 months to replace one income by being a content creator and doing that full-time versus working. So, and I guess that would make sense, right? Because to get monetized, that's just the first step. I mean, there's other things, of course, you got to do to get monetized. But once you get monetized, that's half the battle, because you're definitely only as good as your last video, especially if you want to continue to generate income. So you definitely have to continuously put off content. All right, y'all. So I enjoyed hanging out with you all. It looks like the stream went a lot more smoother today. And I didn't tell you guys, and I forgot. So with some of the donations that I received, peace, masculine frame. Thank you for stopping by. I have been on here for almost 3 hours and I can't believe it. We had a good conversation, and I'm going to have more conversations on this subject. Let me know. Y'all, it's so many things I want to talk about over here in this space. But we just talked about building positive communities, and I addressed one of the foundational things that need to be addressed is how we need to have positive, functioning husbands and wives in the home together raising children. Because if we're not taking care of home, we're not really addressing a lot of the issues that we're seeing out here as far as poverty, as far as just overall, all the different needs and concerns that can be addressed when you have two adults that are coming together on the same page, bringing balance to the lives of children. And I think that is where the communities are the strongest, is when you have two parents together raising children. Okay, to be self-sufficient adults. So I talked about that today. I got some ideas from you guys as far as things to talk about on the next stream. I'm planning on streaming on Friday night, like around 9:30. So that will be my next live. So I thank you for stopping by tonight. So please, everybody, don't forget to like this video, whether you're watching live or if your team replay. Okay. And again, I appreciate you guys for just spending time with me. I know it is late. And thank you, Cree, for stopping by as well. I appreciate you for being here. Yes, it does. And I got to get up a little earlier than that because I am in the gym tomorrow. So everybody, please take care, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good night. Peace.